freedoms and where that space is. Two things seem interesting. Number one, can we, Dr. and Eric, say that if there are individuals that are said to be, we have our boots on the ground, our ears on the ground all the time. You know these things, and people sometimes call you and give you information. As it goes through the verification process, you kind of start to know who does what. You do. And if you're saying that we, as media practitioners, as journalists, we have a code of ethics that we follow in everything that we do, is a step towards this, saying that if you know that these are the known perpetrators of violence, can you actually come out and say, well, perhaps we will not grant you the coverage. We'll black you out. Is that a method that might work? Or should it even be considered?
Yeah.
Or must you give balance-free coverage to everybody regardless?
I think considering blackout for me would be like moving away from what the media is really said to do. We are not meant to deal with just things that please us.
Yes.
We're also supposed to deal with things that displease us. And the bottom line is putting it out there and leaving our consumer to be the judge. So the best we can do is to bring out those who appear hell-bent in wiping out the media, in quotes, so that our consumers would still have the last word on it. But pointing out that these are the perpetrators and leaving it at that, for me, is still not doing much. We need to do a lot more. If you know that people belong to this and are surely against Mwananchi, including yourself as a journalist, something needs to be done. And especially where they have hurt people. Of course, there have been many incidents, but the Homa Bay one seems to have probably crossed the line. Something needs to be done. And I just want to clarify something. I'm talking about a constitutional petition which does not involve the police. A constitutional petition where you are saying there have been violations on your constitutional rights and freedoms. You are basically saying, for example, various articles have been violated, all the way from Article 27 of the Constitution, which basically talks about equality and freedom from discrimination of any kind. You can clearly see that this is happening, all the way to personal dignity, human dignity, Article 28. You can clearly see it in the journalists who have been, trampled on and so on, all the way to 33, 34, and so on, all those articles that talk about these freedoms. So you go to court with a constitutional petition seeking constitutional damages for those violations. The police have no role here, and this is what I'm trying to advocate for, which maybe SG can clarify. I'm not sure, because I get the feeling that it's discussing about a private prosecution, which still needs someone else there to say, this is what proceeding, where you need. That is not the one I'm discussing. I'm discussing about a purely civil aspect. It doesn't involve the police. Journalists are good at investigations. They cannot fail to investigate what has happened. Come with what you think can sustain that civil claim. And we sue the state, because the state has a responsibility, for example, to take care of everybody, including the journalists, their safety and so on. If a notice has been given of a meeting, a journalist is also aware of that notice. And the notice is meant to tell the police, please make sure that there is security, there is safety here. But where you have a situation where human beings, so-called goons, have barricaded roads, and at the end of their barricade, you find now a formal police barricade. What does that tell you? That somebody somewhere decided to look the other side and then allow other people to get hurt. Can't the state take responsibility? Can't the state then compensate its own people? That is the approach that I'm trying to advocate for. We tried